Scandals? Check. Lawsuits? Check. A surprise cameo from Taylor Swift? Oh, you better believe it. Hollywood has seen its fair share of behind-the-scenes meltdowns, but this one? It's an all-out war. Actor-director Justin Baldoni just dropped a $400 million lawsuit on his former co-star Blake Lively and her husband Ryan Reynolds, accusing them of defamation, extortion, and industry sabotage. And if that wasn't wild enough, the drama now has a Deadpool subplot, secret script meetings, and a whole lot of A-list side-eye. It all started with It Ends With Us, the highly anticipated film adaptation of Colleen Hoover's bestseller. But instead of a love story, we got Hollywood's messiest power struggle. Blake allegedly demanded major script rewrites, leading to tensions with Justin, who was both starring in and directing the film. Then, in a twist no one saw coming, Taylor Swift herself showed up at a private meeting, supposedly backing Blake's version of the film. Was it a casual visit or a strategic power move? Meanwhile, Ryan Reynolds is being accused of using Deadpool to take a jab at Justin. Lawsuits are flying, careers are on the line, and Hollywood is eating itself alive. And trust me, this scandal is only getting started. What started as creative differences on It Ends With Us quickly escalated into a high-stakes battle for control. Insiders say Blake Lively was pushing for major rewrites, wanting a version that better suited her vision of the character. Justin Baldoni, as both director and co-star, reportedly pushed back, arguing that the film should stay loyal to Colleen Hoover's original book. But this wasn't just about minor script tweaks. Sources claim Blake wanted significant changes to key scenes, wardrobe, and even the overall tone of the movie. Tensions hit a boiling point when Blake allegedly requested her own edit of the film, separate from Justin's direction. This move, often seen as a power play in Hollywood, sent a clear message. Blake wanted more creative control than Justin was willing to give. According to the lawsuit, their disagreements behind the scenes became a full-fledged internal war. Blake's team reportedly started working around Justin, consulting with producers and higher-ups to push her preferred edits forward. Meanwhile, Justin was growing increasingly frustrated, feeling boxed out of his own project. Then, the Taylor Swift factor entered the picture. In a move that sent shockwaves through the industry, Taylor allegedly showed up at a private script meeting at Blake and Ryan's NYC penthouse. While her exact role in the drama remains unclear, Justin's lawsuit suggests that her presence alone was an intentional flex, adding weight to Blake's influence. Think about it. If one of the most powerful pop stars in the world is endorsing your vision, who's going to challenge you? For Justin, this moment signaled that the scales were tipping completely in Blake's favor. Things only got worse from there. The lawsuit claims Ryan Reynolds, one of the most powerful forces in Hollywood, used his connections to back Blake and actively undermine Justin. Allegedly, producers started taking Blake's side, leading to more tension, more clashes, and, eventually, a total breakdown. By the time Blake filed her own claims against Justin, accusing him of misconduct and manipulation, the fight had moved from the set to the courtroom. What should have been a career-defining project for everyone involved was now a battleground. And with $400 million on the line, a Marvel cameo under scrutiny, and Hollywood's elite choosing sides, this war is far from over. Just when it seemed like this feud couldn't get any messier, fans uncovered something strange in Deadpool 3, something that might be a direct dig at Justin Baldoni. The film, which Ryan Reynolds co-produces and stars in, features a new character called Nice Pool, described as a friendlier, more polished version of Deadpool. Sounds innocent enough, right? Well, here's where things get shady. Nice Pool. Sports a man bun, preaches about being a feminist, and has an eerily similar vibe to Baldoni's public persona. According to Justin's legal team, this wasn't a coincidence. It was a deliberate jab. His lawsuit argues that Ryan, frustrated by the behind-the-scenes power struggle on It Ends With Us, used his Hollywood influence to mock Justin in the biggest way possible, by turning him into a joke in a Marvel blockbuster. And while some fans dismissed the theory as overreach, others quickly pointed out that Ryan Reynolds is no stranger to embedding real-life feuds into his work. He's famously taken shots at past critics, rivals, and even entire movie studios in his films, making it entirely plausible that Nice Pool could be a passive-aggressive nod to Baldoni. The legal fallout? Justin's team is demanding that Disney and Marvel hand over internal documents about Nice Pool's creation. If they can prove that the character was directly inspired by Baldoni and intended as a form of defamation, it could escalate the lawsuit even further. At the very least, it would show that Ryan took the feud beyond the film set and into one of the most high-profile franchises in the world. But that's not the only issue. Insiders claim Ryan was instrumental in backing Blake's push for more control over It Ends With Us, allegedly using his Hollywood clout to shut Justin out of key decisions. The combination of Blake's increasing influence, Taylor Swift's unexpected involvement, and now the Marvel controversy paints a picture of a power struggle where Justin was outnumbered and outmaneuvered at every turn. Is it petty? Absolutely. But in Hollywood, feuds don't just play out in tabloids, they make their way onto the big screen. Whether or not Nicepool was truly a dig at Justin, this lawsuit has officially crossed over into blockbuster territory. And if Disney gets dragged into court over it, the consequences could be massive. If the lawsuits weren't enough, things took an even messier turn when private messages allegedly exchanged between Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni, and Ryan Reynolds surfaced. These texts, now central to Justin's defamation case, tell a completely different story than what's been spun in the media. According to insiders, the messages reveal a roller coaster of emotions, back-and-forth power moves, and a slow-burning fallout that no one saw coming. Early exchanges reportedly show Blake enthusiastically praising Justin for his professionalism and creative vision, even calling him the perfect director for It Ends With Us. But as tensions grew behind the scenes, the messages took a turn. Blake started ghosting Justin for days, leaving him frustrated and confused. Meanwhile, Ryan allegedly stepped in, aggressively defending Blake and shutting down any opposition to her vision for the film. But the real shocker? The lawsuit claims Taylor Swift was name-dropped in these conversations, with some messages suggesting her presence at the infamous script meeting wasn't just casual, it was strategic. One insider described the texts as proof that Blake and Ryan leveraged Taylor's power as a megastar to silence Justin and push through their changes. After all, in Hollywood, perception is everything. Who's going to argue against a script? Rewrite when one of the biggest names in entertainment is smiling in approval? Then there's the cryptic references to Ryan's alleged Deadpool sabotage. In one leaked text, Justin supposedly questions whether Ryan was mocking him through the film, to which Ryan dodges the accusation with a sarcastic response. Fans are now dissecting these messages, trying to determine if Ryan ever admitted to the Nicepool controversy, or if this was just another example of Hollywood politics at play. Meanwhile, other leaked exchanges hint at Blake privately acknowledging tensions with Justin but keeping quiet publicly, further fueling suspicions that this battle was brewing long before it hit the courts. While the full extent of these texts hasn't been released, the snippets floating around are enough to suggest that this feud was never just about creative differences. It was a calculated game of power, influence, and reputation management. If these messages make it into court unfiltered, they could be career-damaging for everyone involved. And in an industry where carefully curated images mean everything, the wrong leak could shift public perception in an instant. With lawsuits piling up, power moves exposed, and A-list reputations on the line, the next phase of this battle could reshape careers and even industry politics. The biggest question now is, how far will this feud go? Will it end with a quiet settlement, or are we about to witness one of Hollywood's most explosive courtroom showdowns? Right now, both sides are at a crossroads. Justin Baldoni is pushing forward with his $400 million lawsuit, determined to prove that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds not only defamed him, but actively sabotaged his career. If his legal team gets access to those Deadpool-related documents and more internal messages, things could get even messier. If Justin wins, the financial blow to Team Lively Reynolds could be staggering. Beyond the monetary damages, the impact on their reputations could be irreversible, especially if the lawsuit reveals behind-the-scenes manipulation. On the other hand, Blake and Ryan's camp has been unusually quiet. Some see this as a sign that their legal strategy is simple: avoid feeding the media frenzy and settle things quietly. In Hollywood, when lawsuits get too big, NDAs and hush money often make everything disappear. A private settlement would allow both sides to save face, but would Justin agree to walk away without fully clearing his name? Then there's the Taylor Swift factor. Despite her name being pulled into the drama, she stayed completely silent. No cryptic lyrics, no shady Instagram likes, nothing. If she addresses the situation publicly, it could completely shift public perception. Right now, speculation is running wild. Was her involvement in that script meeting a genuine show of support for Blake, or was she just caught in the crossfire of a much bigger power struggle? And what about It Ends With Us itself? The film, originally hyped as one of the most anticipated book adaptations in years, is now drowning in controversy. How do you promote a movie when your leads are locked in a legal war? Press junkets? Red carpets? Unthinkable. One thing is clear. This isn't just a celebrity feud, it's a Hollywood power struggle with real consequences. Whether it ends in a courtroom or a carefully crafted PR resolution, this scandal is far from over. And if history tells us anything, the next twist will be even bigger than the last. Beyond the headlines, lawsuits, and leaked messages, this battle exposes the dark underbelly of Hollywood, a world where power isn't just about talent, but about alliances, influence, and strategic takedowns. What started as a creative dispute over It Ends With Us has evolved into a high-stakes war that highlights how major stars leverage their connections to control narratives, silence opposition, and, in some cases, destroy careers. One of the most striking aspects of this feud is the way reputations are being weaponized. Blake Lively, long viewed as Hollywood's golden girl, has found herself at the center of allegations that she used her influence and powerful allies to push Justin Baldoni out of his own project. Meanwhile, Justin, who built his brand on positivity and progressive ideals, is now fighting against a tide of damaging accusations that threaten to overshadow his entire career. Then there's Ryan Reynolds, whose involvement in this mess raises serious questions about how much power A-listers actually hold behind the scenes. If the lawsuit's claims are true, and he really did use Deadpool as a subtle attack on Baldoni, it suggests that major franchises are being used as tools in personal Hollywood feuds. That's not just petty, it's a reminder that, in an industry built on image, even multi-billion-dollar blockbusters can be part of a power play. And let's not ignore the Taylor Swift factor. While she hasn't spoken publicly about the situation, her presence in this story alone is a testament to how deeply interconnected Hollywood's elite truly are. A simple meeting, a few supportive words, or even just an association with one side can be enough to tip the scales in a high-profile dispute. In an industry where public perception is everything, having the right people in your corner isn't just beneficial, it's a form of protection. The fallout from this scandal could extend far beyond Blake, Justin, and Ryan. If the lawsuit moves forward, it could pull in more industry figures, studios, and media outlets. If it settles, it will once again prove that Hollywood's biggest battles rarely play out in public. They end in backroom deals, sealed documents, and PR damage control. No matter how this shakes out, one thing is clear. This isn't just a messy celebrity fight. It's a case study in how Hollywood really works.